Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to show you my current character, which is a Elementalist, or better said, a Golementalist. Oh, wait a second, didn't you play a Golementalist last season? Yeah, I did, and it was pretty cheap, and it did quite some work, especially killing Uber Elder. And the reason, the special reason behind that character is actually a so-called law weave. Okay, what has a law weave to do with the Golemancer? Yeah, pretty much the case was, I was going away from the custom crit cycloner and stuff, and I wanted to try out some new stuff, right? So I was selling all my gear. I had like 10 exalts on my stash, 15 maybe. And the thing was, while thinking of a new character, let's just buy some rings, you know, get the law weave, 6-link it, make some profit and stuff, right? But yeah, in the end, we 6-linked it today. There was a progress of about 3 days of trying to link a law weave, and we spent a total of 9,568 fusings to link this shitty law weave, right? Here's the clip. Fraser! Good job, my dude! Hell yes, we did it! 9,500, wait a second, that was 80, wait, let me count that together. We did it, boys, we did it! Okay, so not only I did spend all of my currency, no, there were a couple of guildmates that tried to help me linking this law weave, right? So, the typical thing, right? I write in the guild chat like, yeah, screw me, like 3,000 fusings down, GG, no 6-link, right? And then people are like, yeah, come on, give it to me, I have like 300 fusings left, I will quickly link it for you, right? Yeah, and in the end, we were like, I don't know, like 15, 16 people throwing fusings after fusings on that. Like every Exile orb we kind of made, you know, we just sold it by more fuses. And it did link. But in the end, it's still a shitty law weave, so there was about 40 Exalts in fusings, right? So what we're gonna do is, I'm going to divine this one, so it's actually a good law weave, and then we're gonna wait until there's a tier 3 corruption chamber in the temple, right? And we all hope for, yeah, that it's just going to go poof, and that's about it. So sad story ended, right? But therefore, now it stands here. Anyway, so that made me think, like, I was playing in the last 2 days, any funny meme builds on a 5 Chaos Orb budget, because every more Chaos Orbs I got, I just spammed into fusings, right? So I had to struggle like, okay, I cannot do any kind of content, right? I can't even farm tier 5 maps or something. I have no currency income at the moment just because of this stupid law weave, right? So I had to think about a build that is cheap, that can actually do high tier content and also like Uber Elder, so I can farm up currency again, right? And this made my choice to go for the Golemancer. So, as a map showcase and how it works at the moment, we are level 77, I leveled it up today. We have like played 13 hours, I think like 10 hours was leveling or so, and yeah, 3 hours now for like trading, mapping, whatever. So we're just gonna run any kind of, I don't know, like vault map, for example. Let's make it a little bit better, like yeah, should be fine. Nothing too special actually. Just to give you a brief showcase how the character actually is working at the moment, and then we're gonna talk about how everything plays together and what I'm trying to achieve, or at least what's the next steps to upgrade this build, right? So we are using Ice Golems in our 6-link, currently running a Tabula Rasa, yeah, because I have no currency, right? Feels bad. Let's just summon our golems. We have 1 lightning golem, 1 stone golem, 1 chaos golem, and 6 times the ice golem. So the thing is, the difference between this character and the one that I played in 3.4 is basically this one is mind over matter. So that gives us another quite layer of defense at the moment. Obviously I'm only having like 3k life at the moment, but I'm having like 2k mana, so that's actually fine for now, right? So okay, we have our 9 golems, and let's see how this character is currently working out. Basically, it's just a running simulator, right? Because all you gotta do is just run. That's about it. You have phase run to make it a little bit faster. Yeah, and your golems just clear everything. we have Orb of Storms because we run Elemental Equilibrium, so yeah, monster gets more damage of all kinds of sources, just not lightning. And our lightning golem is just here as a buffing dude, more or less, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it, because we run hatred for our ice golems, and that means that they're doing some kind of cold damage. So having Elemental Equilibrium on Orb of Storms make the mobs have more lightning resistance, but 50 less cold resistance and fire resistance, and that is specifically good for DPS for the ice golems, right? Yeah, but as you see, it's just like, yeah, hit and run. No, wait a second, you don't even hit, you just run. That's a walking simulator, as I call it, right? Because you actually just need one hand to play this build. I have Orb of Storm on my mouse, and yeah, you just run, place your Orb of Storm. And as you see, for level 77 character with about, I would say, I'd rather... like, how much currency did I put into this character yet? I think like 200 chaos tops. If I think it's even less, right? But as you see, usually, as you know my builds, they are getting very, very expensive, right? And almost died, pretty good. But this character is just has one purpose, right? Getting cheap into high tier and probably Uber Elder killing, so I can actually farm back currency, so we can actually do something productive in this league. Because this league hasn't really given me any kinds of favors at the moment, right? I was actually hoping that this league will give me finally some profit. But just the fact that I had to use like almost 10,000 fusings to 6-link the first item, what completely ruined my currency, right? Yeah, was pretty decent. And I was really, really mad. You know, these are one of the points where you say like, come on, screw that league, let's just wait for the next league, I'm done, right? So I'm actually a little bit sad that we don't get any kind of syndicate members unless they are in the boss room. Oh, they are in the boss room. Okay, so how does that work? You just actually wait, right? You're just gonna place your Orb of Storms and yeah, let the minions do the work. Let's just hope it's not any kind of one-shotting dude, because actually, okay, here we almost got one-shotted, great. But usually you just hide behind the pillar and yeah, wait until they do their work, right? Because there's no reason you should stay there. Unless you want to actually get your Orb of Storms down, but therefore we have phase run, so we can just walk through the minions. And I'm still missing my town jewels. So as you see, syndicate members is not really a hard thing to do, because the golems do all the work. Once we get some currency into this character, especially Abyss Jewels, we're going to get 2 Abyss Jewels. One has the taunt ability, and the other one will actually be blind on hit. So this is another layer of defense, more or less, because minions taunt and minions blind. But as you see, it's really not hard to do any kind of content with this character. Obviously, hey, that's great. I should do more build guides. I mean, what the hell? I remember when I played my MF Autobomber build guide, and when I ran a Burial Jammer, I got an Exalted Orb. Now that's actually great. Poggers! Anyway, so I'm just thinking of what I can spend it on. Anyways, so how does this build work? And actually one of my ice golems died. That's actually bad. Probably a syndicate. So there is some kind of stuff that you have to pay attention on the Golemancer, but it's, as I said, a pretty cheap character, right? I currently run the Skull Head. That's like a 1 alteration item probably, or 1 jeweler. No, 1 alteration. Wow, great, like super cheap, right? We have a Clay Shaper that gives us 1 additional golem, right? And some physical damage, also pretty cheap. I think like a chaos or something. Like I said, it's a super cheap build. 1 fusing even. Okay, we ran the Victorious Charity, but I will talk a little bit later why this shield. It's a fusing, so there is actually, I think the Primordial Chain starts at 2 Chaos Orbs, 3 Chaos. Okay, so just life resistance, life resistance, life resistance. There's nothing to worry about on this build. It's super cheap and super effective, right? And this is exactly the reason why I picked it up. It gets a little bit more complicated when we take a look at the skill tree, because we need a shitload out of yeah, gems or jewels for buffing our golems, right? But first of all, let's go over the gear and the gem settings that I decided for now, right? We have Summon Lightning Golem, Stone Golem, and Chaos Golem, Triple Golem in the helmet with an Empower support. This is actually just for leveling up the Empower gem. Usually you would go Minion Life, because we don't care about the damage of those 3 golems. They're just here to buff our Ice Golems, right? So better go just with Minion Life, so they just survive longer, right? But I'm just here to, like, I should actually use Empowered Gems in my second weapon slot to level them up. So, Clay Shaper goes with Orb of Storms, Curse and Hit, and Feeble. So we actually weaken the enemies, right? In our Victorious Charity, we go with Increased Duration, Phase Run, Flame Dash actually just to cross pillars, doesn't need to be linked, but Phase Run with Increased Duration is kind of fine. So we are harder to detect, so minions won't always attack us, we are faster, we can move through stuff, and that's pretty good. The Primordial Chain Amulet will give us 3 additional golems, right? But they will actually reduce the power of the golems because they have less damage and less life, and this is a less multiplier. So on top of everything, they get reduced, right? So this is actually bad, but we get 3 additional golems. That's good. Then I use an Essence Worms. As I said, I'm Mind Over Matter. That means that 30% of the damage that I get is going to mana before life, right? That's why I want to keep as much mana as possible, and then Essence Worm isn't like too expensive, I think, like 20 chaos, but that's not super necessary, right? With a Hatred Gem, because our minions will do extra cold damage because of their physical damage, and since our Ice Golems are physical, that makes sense. Here we just have life resistance, pretty much. I choose to have like a little bit minion movement speed, but this ring was 1 chaos, right? My gloves, life resistance, belt, life resistance, boots, life resistance. Nothing special, right? No fancy uniques, nothing too expensive. If you go for the Tabula Rasa, at least like the gems, right? We have Summon Ice Golem going with minion damage support. We have Maim, melee physical, multi-strike, and an Empower, and my Empower is level 1, so basically my minions are level, yeah, they're 5 link at the moment, right, until I level those up, but hopefully tomorrow I will make a mapping marathon, get this character to like level 90 and something, and then progressing towards the Uber Elder. I mean, I have unlocked it already, right? There's only 1 map missing on my Atlas, that's the Wild Temple map. They go for like 150 chaos at the moment, so that's kind of expensive, so I can't really do that at the moment. But yeah, for the gloves, I have no links there. I don't really know what kind of links I should put in there, because we actually want to have the Commandment of the Pit, right? And they are super expensive in this league, so they will give you quite an insane upgrade in terms of your DPS. Let me show quick. I think they started like 5 Exalts, right? If we go here, Commandment of the Pit, they go for 4,9,5,5 Exalts for 1 slot, right? Normally 1 slot is fine at the start, right? But if you go for like 2 slotted, they start like, I don't know, like 13 Exalts, 15 Exalts. Yeah, somewhere. There are only 3 on the market at the moment. That's because these gloves come from Delph, right? And for Delph, you need to push Delph, right? And last league, they were pretty cheap just because everybody was doing Delph, right? And it was easier to get deeper and spawn the bosses, right? But yeah, that's just a pretty nice upgrade. And if you get those, get a jewel with, so the minions get accuracy, right? So they will do a lot more damage. And also get a taunt on hit for the minions gem, right? This will also buff your survivability. In terms, wait a second, boots, we have cast when damage taken, Immortal Call, and Convocation. Convocation, basically, if you get hit, it will get triggered by cast when damage taken, and this just summons all of your golems to yourself, right? So this is actually pretty sweet. You get hit, they spawn on your spawn location, and then just DPS from that point out. Flasks, I have a hybrid flask here. That's actually not really necessary, just because there's not regenning a lot, right? Like 2,000 life in 5 seconds is like nothing, right? So I'll probably skip, I don't know, like probably a Wise Oak or something like that to get a Divine Life yeah, maybe an Instant Life Flask, probably a Mana Flask, something like that. Not really too sure. Rumi's Concoction, just to give you another layer of defense. Here's some life regen, bleed immunity, consecrated ground, right? So some damage as well. This just for another layer of defense, and yeah, Quicksilver Flask, freeze immunity, pretty nice to have. All right, let's take a look at the skill tree, because this is something, this is actually, yeah, where the fun starts, or at least the currency starts to ramp up a little bit, right? For the Ascendancy, there's only 2 labs we need, and this is the Leech of the Primordial and also the Elemancer, right? That means you get here 1 additional golem and here 1 additional golem, and the thing is, when you have like a flame golem, you can't be ignited. If you have a lightning golem, you can't be shocked. Like it buffs ourselves, right? Also, you get more damage for your golems for each summoned golem, right? The Leech of Primordial makes your golems immune to elemental damage, which is pretty insane. Also some damage for the golem, right? And there is one major thing, I think it was one of the gems, I think, that actually says more damage for each type of golem, right? And we're actually running 4 types of golems, so that's actually a pretty huge DPS boost. So, in terms of jewels, so as you see, all we actually do... Oh yeah, we should go Shepherd of Desolation and Beacon of Ruin for the Ubalob, just so if we actually damage the mob with Orb of Storms, they have a little bit more damage taking, right? So your golems do a little bit more DPS, but it's just not too necessary. The only important thing are those 2. And the first 2 labs is pretty easy to get. So, as you see on the skill tree, we're actually just hunting for jewel slots. Like, everything we do is jewel slots, mana, and life. Nothing else. It's super easy, right? But there is actually 3 different types of jewels that we use. Let's just put them out, and I hope that I don't forget to put them in again. No, actually it's 4 different types of jewels that we use. And I will explain in a second why we're actually using them. So, harmony, harmony, harmony... But on the other hand, you don't have to worry about searching for some rare jewels, because you have no idea what stats you need or whatever, right? So, did we miss some? Yeah, here's one more. Actually 6 already, that's crazy. But this is the current skill tree that I'm working with, right? So, when I'm level 90, I don't know if I have the exact same skill tree. If I just skip this one, maybe that's like 5 skill points for some dexterity. I could go for more life. Just, you know, I have to sort out if it's necessary with Mind Over Matter or not, right? But at the moment, I'm really having not a lot of life. Maybe finishing the Scion Life cluster and all that kind of stuff will help, right? So, in terms of jewels, we have the Anima Stone, 1 additional golem, and also if you have 3 primordial items socketed or equipped, right? Because this primordial chain amulet is also a primordial item. You can summon up 1 additional golem, right? So basically what that means is you have 1 golem in general, right? From your Ascendancy you get 2 more, right? Makes it 3. Then from the amulet you have 6 golems. This one makes it 7 and 8, right? And the Clay Shaper gives you 1 additional, makes it 9. You can actually remove that kind of skill cluster here and dual wield Clay Shapers to get 10 golems, which is an opportunity, but I just think that, yeah, this is actually pretty fine at the moment, right? So, this one. The Primordial Might is the next important one, because it's not about the stats, actually, it's just about the attack. Your golems are aggressive, and this is important because you open a door, they charge in and just kill everything, right? So this is very important for the playstyle of the golems, right? Then you need like 2 or 3 Primordial Eminence to just buff them a little bit in survivability, right? They have more attack and cast speed and get some flat armor. I would say 2, maybe 3, not sure yet. And the rest you're just gonna stick in Primordial Harmony, right? Because they have like cooldown recovery speed, and there you have it. Increased golem damage for each type of golem you have summoned, right? So, as I said, 2 or 3 of these, and the rest you're just gonna... If I get like 10 more jewel slots, I'm just gonna pump them in with Primordial Harmony, right? So, the Anima Stone is, I think, the only expensive one. Goes for like 40 chaos. The Might goes for 9 chaos. If you're wondering what am I using here, it's PoE Trade Macro. Links is in the description below, just for price checking. Here we have 2 chaos, and here we have 10 chaos, 13, 14 chaos, right? So nothing too fancy, nothing too expensive. Last league when I played it, they were more expensive, right? So it's a pretty good turn to actually try out the Golemantalist because it's pretty cheap and it gets stuff done, right? So one more thing about the Victorious Charity. It says chance to grant a power charge to nearby allies on kill, and also the frenzy charges, right? But here, with a Necromantic Aegis, you get all bonuses from an equipped shield applied to your minions instead of you. So my minions get all the power charges and frenzy charges. So why actually? The thing is, I'm not killing something. I'm just standing around doing nothing, basically, right? So I will never get any of the power of frenzy charges, but my golems do kill the stuff, so they get actually the shield proc, and I just benefit from it, right? So more or less, so I get frenzy and power charges as well. But yeah, that's about the skill tree. Link is given in the description below from the current state. But basically, as I said, mana, life, jewel slots. That's pretty much it, right? And also the elemental equilibrium, as I said before, with our Orb of Stone, we give them lightning resistance, but less cold and fire resistance. And yeah, our golems do physical damage plus cold damage, so they do even more damage, right? So for bandits and pantheons, bandits I killed all for skill points. Pantheon I don't know, I just leveled this one up, right? Probably stun immunity or something, Arakali maybe, but I don't know. It's like you're not getting physical damage, so I just took Lunaris for the movement speed. It's totally fine for mapping, and Gridcool for some more physical mitigation. And if I'm going to attend Uberalda, I'm just going to switch for Ugol, and obviously the upgraded Ugol for the cold damage taking. And yeah, bandits, as I said, kill all. For the empty axes, if you're wondering, I'm using the Celestial Hood, the Wasteland Sword with the Forged Weapon effect, Kitava Body Armor with gloves and boots. We have the Glowing Red Eyes, the Seraph Battle Wings, these are the new ones that came out a couple of days ago. The Ultimate Chaos Shield, that's, yeah, looks pretty well with this build setup. The Celestial Character effect, Kitava Portrait Frame, and the Demon King Portal effect. And for our golems, it is the Clockwork Golem skin, and the sad thing is you have to buy this 4 times for 4 golems, right? So if I need another golem here, like Flame Golem or something, yeah, I would probably need a 5th one, so that's getting pretty expensive. Other than that, Dark Immortal Call, Carnage, Aura effect for our Hatred, Dragon Flame Dash, not too super important, Celestial Orb of Storms, and yeah, I think we're good to go on this one. Convocation? I don't think they have anything. Harbinger Convocation effect, please take my money. No, that is blue. I need red and dark stuff. Okay, anything else that I have to add? Yeah, probably I'm going to play this build like today, tomorrow. We'll probably get it up to like level 19, 91, 92, somewhere in that range. Hopefully can do Uber Elder quite soon, and then getting some juicy Watcher's Eye jewels to get some currency to equip other characters again. This would actually be great, and yeah, would be super great actually. So stay tuned, next build update in a couple of days, actually maybe 2 or 3 days, hopefully with the Uber Elder kill, hopefully with a beautiful Watcher's Eye jewel, hopefully with more currency than freaking 6 Chaos Orbs, and obviously the beautiful Exalted Orb. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see ya on the next video.